All right, so we got some updates for the DCU on the film and TV side. These pictures dropped a couple of weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, but we got our first set images of Jon Stewart in lanterns. Where I think this is going, or what I think this scene is implying, is we're getting the origin of how Jon Stewart got his lantern ring. There was, right before these pictures dropped, a flurry of castings for a young Jon Stewart's mother and an older Jon Stewart's mother, and the same with his father. So based on that, and for what we can see again in the context of these pictures, I think we're getting that origin story. I want to end absolutely on a more hopeful note and happy note. So the Superman news, which is going to take up the majority or the rest of this video, I'll save till after this. I want to talk about the Batman Part 2. We really need to stop with the speculation and the fear mongering and the craze that seems to happen whenever an actor in the film is announced to be on another project, or we hear about Robert Pattinson doing something. All this is coming from the Dune Messiah announcement that, it's pretty much a done deal that Robert Pattinson is going to star in the film, which is supposedly shooting this year around June or July, and the shoot typically goes for about 5 months. He is reportedly playing a big role in the film. It's the villain. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Scytale. Regardless, though, the article talked about how this could potentially conflict with the shooting that was supposed to start at the end of this year for the Batman Part 2 for its 2027 release. Just to reiterate and remind everyone, it's been reported on by many scoopers and reporters. Something is going on with Matt Reeves that's personal to him that he has not disclosed and does not need to disclose. But that situation, whatever it is, on top of the writer's strike, on top of him taking a while to write anyway, his process is very different. That has caused the delays. What people seem to be doing is using the length of the delays as a way to try to pit James Gunn versus Matt Reeves, and it's really just kind of disgusting. And I mentioned I would try to stop talking about it, but it's DC news and it keeps coming up, so I'll continue to cover it even lightly. I mean, we really need to stop this. James and Matt love working together. They keep talking about how much they love working together. James is allowing Matt Reeves his time. He's not announcing anything. He's allowing him his space. They are working on the dynamic duo project that was just showcased at CinemaCon. So this idea that James is stealing things from him or trying to block the Batman Part 2, or Warner Brothers is trying to sabotage their own successful Batman franchise, is just ridiculous. This by no means is a confirmation, but I think this is one of the biggest tells. Recently, this user Axel on Twitter, he posted, if and when this film comes out, talking about the Batman Part 2, if Matt Reeves decides to talk about what was going on in his life, he said a lot of you are going to look really silly and insensitive with all of your takes and how you've been looking at the whole situation. And Mattson Tomlin, he's a Hollywood writer, also wrote on the Batman Part 2. He's writing with Matt Reeves. He liked this tweet, and that says a lot to me because Mattson is working a lot with HBO, other projects, and the fact that he saw this, was able to like it, I think to me is one of the clearest indicators that calm down, everybody take a step back, take a breath, relax. We are getting the Batman Part 2. We just need to be patient. And once we find out, I'm sure all of you again are gonna be stuck with your foot up your mouth. So just relax. On a happier note, we're less than 10 days away from Superman Day, April 18th. James Gunn and Jim Lee shared this little video talking about how they both grew up in St. Louis in Missouri and likely saw Superman 78 in the theaters, at the same theater. They grew up, I guess, like down the street from each other. So that was kind of crazy. But everyone is thinking this is likely when we are going to get the new Superman trailer. James Gunn has confirmed he has been working on and is almost done editing. Between some interviews and tidbits, especially the Fandango interview that they released recently, we got some more little, I guess, updates for Superman, and something that Rachel Brosnahan recently said too gave us some insight into the relationship between Clark and Lois. So speaking of that point specifically, Rachel Brosnahan said that we're dropping into a point in Superman and Lois's relationship, or Clark and Lois's relationship, that we've never seen before. And she expounded on it a bit, saying we're about 3 months into their relationship. And that's kind of like that interesting sweet spot where you're like, okay, what exactly is going on here? She doesn't necessarily trust him because she's a reporter. She talks about in the Fandango interview where she tries to be 10 steps ahead of everyone, and she doesn't ever think in just the inherent goodness of people. She is always trying to be prepared. Like she said, we're at this point in a relationship where it's not like the origin, so we're not just getting into the relationship, and it's not deep into the relationship where the trust has completely happened with the two, there is still some questions to be answered about, who are they exactly and how will this relationship work? He's an idealist and she's a pragmatist. So I'm excited to see how that plays out in the film. In the interview with Fandango too, it's interesting learning about the different aspects of their personalities, Lex, Clark, and Lois. David Cornsweet talked about how Superman believes in the inherent goodness of everyone. And again, that clashes with Lois's view of having to be very careful. And James Gunn in the interview even said it. He said that Superman believes that all life is precious no matter what. Nobody deserves to die for any reason. And Nicholas Hoult talked a bit about how Lex is like the opposite. He has a relentless pursuit of science, and he believes that anybody's life can be at stake for the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. It's going to be a really fascinating dynamic between the three, and I can't wait because that is going to be the central conflict of the film. One of the things that has been confirmed, but people have kind of walked around it, was there are these reports that Supergirl is in the film. With what David Cornsweet he didn't leak it, but the way he said this makes me think that, yeah, she absolutely is. The interviewer in the Fandango interview asked if Krypto and Superman, like, why they need each other. And David Cornsweet responded to that, but he said, it's more of a foster situation. Superman is taking care of this dog, which to me, again, just ding, ding, ding. Okay, so he's fostering it for somebody. Who would have a super dog? Millie Alcock's Kara. I really don't expect her to have a massive role in the film. It'll probably be just maybe towards the end of the film to, hey, thanks for taking care of Krypto for me. But it'll be interesting to see, how they play that. Like, where was she? Was this the first time he's looked after Krypto? Or is she maybe in the beginning of the film where he finds out more about Kryptonians and, Kara shows up and says, hey, I need you to watch my dog for me. I am just as excited for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow as I am for Superman. I think that film is going to be fantastic. Craig Gillespie is an incredible director, and Millie Alcock is she's just as amazing. And I wonder if, along with the trailer, the official trailer for Superman, if they don't drop some type of first look image at the Supergirl costume, because I could see that too. Either way you slice it, I'm pumped, I'm excited. The DCU is in full swing. We're really starting to see the marketing ramp up for Superman. So again, I think that new trailer's coming. We're less than 100 days away from the Superman film. Look up.